Hi everyone, welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to be sharing some things that I've been reflecting on recently in the time that I've been offline. And I wanted to share that, I've been offline for the last couple of days, really been taking some much needed rest. And just time to integrate and settle in, after finishing the second retreat. These retreats are a big deal. They take a lot of energy. And so I've been giving myself that space to rest since I made the last video. So just want to come on here and say hi. How's everyone doing? I hope you had a beautiful Valentine's Day. We did here at the house. There's nothing better than, I find, just nesting and being at home and nourishing and resting and recuperating from the demands of life. Because, we go out there, we're always doing, we're building, we're creating, we're working, we're shoveling. Roger, I see you there, shoveling snow, right? There are a lot of demands of life. And it's important that we remember that the point is not to just keep moving forward in this linear straight line, but actually a really beautiful way to live life it can be more like a spiral. It can be a curvy shape. It can move in different directions. It can seem like it's coming back and revisiting old places, but we're never there. Take it off the Wi-Fi. With a nonlinear approach to living life, it's okay to stop. It's okay to slow down. And it's actually not just okay, but really important that we have these times where we rest. And this is what I think the winter is for. It's a call to go within and get cozy. We don't exactly have that here in Guatemala because it's the land of eternal spring and sunshine. So it's a beautiful sunny day outside like it always is. So hi everyone, welcome to this video. Hi Wanda, I'm missing you too, honey. I love you. Hi Rosemary, I've been thinking about you. I've been thinking about you guys a lot while I was offline and really needing to take the space for myself. So even if I don't show up here for a bit, just know that I'm always thinking about you guys. I did show up in the High Vibe tribe. So if you're a member of the tribe, you can go back and check out some of the videos that I made for Valentine's Day. Also, we did one of our lessons today. So there are always these cool wisdom transmissions. Today we were talking about fear. We were talking about change. We were talking about how we find our strength and how we give strength to others amidst it all. So hi everyone. Thank you, Cindy. Just on this page, just for future reference, if I'm ever traveling or hosting an event or going through some big process, attending some workshop, you can probably expect that I may make less videos on the page. And it's not because there's something wrong. It's because I need to step back and I need to, a lot of times I'm processing things I'm learning. I'm integrating the new, right? And what I'm learning is that when we go through times of big transformation and change, it's really important to rest. And it's really important to give yourself that time. It's like a caterpillar going into the cocoon is not in there, doing its taxes and working on its 5-year plan. Like it's going through a deep transformation that actually requires that it kind of shuts down and go within. So I think it's very important to honor these cycles within us as we feel them. Hi, Meredith. Hi, babe. Hello in Maryland, Wendy. Cool. So how do we know? Well, we listen to ourselves because the caterpillar does not get a memo. The caterpillar does not get a text message. The caterpillar is not notified by loudspeaker or email that it's time to go through this transformation. The caterpillar probably feels it very deeply within itself of like this, like pulling back, not wanting to go to the party, right? Really just wanting to find its own little branch, its own little special safe place, maybe pulling back from the other caterpillars, not going to the caterpillar meet and greets that it normally would always go to enjoy caterpillar pizza. I don't know, whatever. But there's a natural process that takes place. And so I think that metamorphosis requires a deep presence to be with the process that we're going through. And so sometimes that healing and metamorphosis process can be messy, it can be uncomfortable, it cannot look very good, which is sometimes why it's really important to honor, like, okay, if you feel like you need to take a step back from social media, babe, do it. Especially if you're feeling like you've been too drawn outwards by external things. And if you're too tied to external things, that can be a source of energetic drainage. It sounds funny. Energetic drainage. So sometimes in order to reclaim ourselves, like to come back to ourselves, sometimes, oh, hi, Jackie. Hey, Kelly. It's important that we take a step back and just kind of like shut the windows, right? Shut all the portals, shut all the ports, you know, maybe say no, don't go to the caterpillar party, and spend some time, with our bodies, with our breath, noticing, wow, yeah, I am tired. Here's a question. Why push yourself and take stimulants when you're tired, when another really valid and really beneficial option is actually just to rest? I know. A lot of responsibilities, a lot of things to do, a lot of beings to care for, a lot of kids to get to where kids need to get to, all the things are happening. I get it. And I think that we're always making choices. And we're going to feel most comfortable with the choices that we have repeated over and over. That's how we learn, right? That's how things become part of us. We repeat them over and over. So I think it's important to understand that sometimes there is space for doing something else. There is space for something else, but it requires that we leave something else out. Because when you leave something else out, there's new space, right? And that can mean for habits, for friendships, for community, for fill in the blank, right? And plants in your garden. I was sharing in High Vibe Tribe this morning about how I have this patch that's right by the house, closest garden patch, where I had all of this oregano growing. I kind of throw the oregano in because I wasn't really thinking about how I wanted to use the space. And I was like, okay, just try it. So I threw it in, this oregano grew. And I realized I wasn't really using the oregano. It's beautiful, it's great, but I wasn't really using it. So I made an executive decision that when we're moving the nettle patch to take out 3/4 of the oregano plant to put in the nettles. Now I don't use oregano, but I use nettles so much. So a lot of times people will say, oh, I can't do that thing because of this thing I already have. And it's like, okay, well, is there space for you to prune and let go of some of the things so you can have more for you, you know? So I wanted to share with you something that I had written because I was feeling very tired. I was feeling very drained. I was feeling congested. Like my body was just like screaming at me, it's time to rest. And one thing I noticed is that when I'm not well, one of the biggest things that I notice can be like a red flag of like, hey, babe, it's time to pull back, close the shutters, close the ports, and like pull back to yourself, is I can notice I'm not well by what's happening in my mind. And so the more I learn to observe what's happening in my mind, the more I can detect, hey, oh, red flag, there's a red alarm going off, versus like, okay, all is well here. Sometimes it's very easy to recognize which is which side are you on in the middle of it, right? So this is actually a journal entry that I wrote. And it goes, how can I know if I'm in a good state of mind? Because here's the thing, just because you think a thought doesn't mean you can or should believe it. Because sometimes the thoughts we think are bad. Or not necessarily bad, but they lead to suffering. They lead to pain. So I think it's probably a good idea to learn to recognize the red flags, the little seeds that can grow into a big pain sooner rather than later, because just like a tree, it's very easy to pull out a little sapling, a little tree. It's very difficult to pull out a big tree that has an established root system. Then we got to cut it. We got to bring in support. They need trucks, right? You need tools. It's a big endeavor to cut out something that has grown, right? So the ability to catch a negative thought before it takes root and grows into a tree of anger, a tree of sadness, a tree of resentment, right? All of these like low kind of dense energies. So it's really important that we become detectives of our mind to see what's going on before it takes us there. Does that sound like a good idea? Okay. Okay, so how can I know if I'm in a good state of mind? How can you know if you're in a good state of mind, if you should believe your thoughts or not? Well, I can tell you, first of all, the red flags that tell me that I am not in a good state of mind. Oh, can you grab more tea, please? Yeah. Thank you. Okay, so a really, really big red flag that tells me I should probably be very, very cautious and maybe not speak, maybe not act, but maybe pull back is there's, first of all, I can know that I'm in not a good state of mind if there is a very strong aversion or craving present. If I really want something to be a certain way according to my will, that's a red flag. If I'm like, no, if like, I don't like this, no, there's an aversion, this person, this thing, this is bad, this is wrong, this is no, right? That's called an aversion. So I'm setting myself up for suffering if I'm harboring a strong aversion. Alternatively, a craving. I need this thing. I need this donut. I need to shop. I need to, right? There's like a, right? It can be like a compulsive need, right? So just doesn't matter what the story is, doesn't matter what the content is, just we look for the context. Am I harboring a strong desire for things to be different than they are? So with that, I'm pushing against reality. So am I pushing against reality? Am I not accepting reality? Am I not accepting life on life's terms? Great. So if you're in a moment where you're feeling stressed out, where you're feeling anxious, where you're feeling disturbed or aggravated by something, ask yourself, first question, am I accepting reality the way that it is? Or am I trying to push against it and insist that it be something different? Because if I'm doing that, oh, Spunkin, damn. Thanks for letting me know. Stella is sleeping outside. Okay, so now here, with wanting things to be different, with not accepting reality, another red flag is that there is a desire within me to want to manipulate the situation to change according to the way that I want it to be, right? So it's like there's this selfish, egoic, I don't like this, I don't want this, I'm going to make this different. Now, of course, there are times in life where we do want to stand up and for truth, for justice, right? But would you like to stand up for truth and justice with a calm and stable mind or with an angry, reactive mind? Because we can be much more efficient agents of change and peace if we are encountering situations with a calm and stable mind rather than a reactive, emotional, dramatic, mind, right? Very different. So we're not talking about not making changes in the world. We're talking about us being at the center of what our energy, our frequency is the seed for what is created next. So with that, wanting to manipulate the situation, wanting to manipulate people and so say, for example, you're having a problem with a person. I can want to manipulate that person using anger, shame, guilt, blame, and that's pretty direct. Or I can indirectly try to manipulate the situation by manipulating the people around that person. So this is a really unfortunate situation, I think, when the kids, for example, get caught in the crossfire of a divorce situation where the two parents are very angry, right? And they're trying to get at each other, or this is a hypothetical situation. Imagine two partners going through a divorce, trying to who have a lot of unresolved pain and trauma. And instead of resolving their pain and trauma, they try to manipulate the other to do what they want because they feel powerless, right? And so you can directly try to manipulate the other, or maybe they try to manipulate the children to turn against the other person. So that is a red flag that our mind is not well if we're trying to do that. And a good sign to step back and don't act. Don't speak from that place. This is the work to recognize and see it clearly. Oh, I'm doing that thing. I'm going to that place. And if I continue, I'm likely going to cause harm to somebody trying to get things the way that I want them to be. So next red flag is I'm wrapped up in stories that may or may not be true, but I believe them without question. Oh, this person is doing that because this is a conspiracy against you or something, and all these people are in on it, but it's not actually real. It's just a story that is perpetuating in the mind, and the unhealthy mind does not challenge it or question it. So this is a really good way. Am I facing this situation with preloaded stories that I believe to be true without question, and then attacking or blaming or defending or like lashing out at others based on this story being true, but the story was never true, but the unhealthy mind never questioned it. Thanks, babe. Morning, Chrissy. Hi, everyone. Hey, CEO. Hi, guys. Hey, Macy. Yeah. Cognitive dissonance. Yeah. Thank you. That's some good treats. So right now, what we're trying to do is to recognize when the problem is actually me, when the problem is actually right here. There may be problems on the outside, but the real problem is here, that I would rather try to change the world rather than doing the inner work to change my reaction to it. Yeah. Oh, Spunkin, that's cool. Oh. Yeah, the moral of Spunkin is we have to learn to be our own loving parents. The end. And then we love our parents because we take them down from a pedestal and we see them as real people who are doing the best that they could all along. Hi, Dana. Hi. Cheryl, the stove. No. Okay, another one. A good red flag to look out for. Oh, hey, Tammy. Hi, love. Tammy, I'm doing, remember that list I was reading to you on the phone? I'm doing a video about it now. So another red flag that I can recognize that my mind is unwell and I need to halt. I need to stop and not proceed forward, not act from an unstable place, but I have to do the work to bring myself back to calm and stability before I speak. Otherwise, I might hurt somebody, and I don't want to do that. So a red flag is I'm feeling and thinking like a victim. So when you're feeling and thinking like a victim, it's, oh, they did it to me. I can't believe they're doing this to me. They are bad. They are wrong. They are doing this to me. I can't believe this is happening to me, right? So there's this sense of attack. There's a sense of like there's something wrong, and there's a perpetrator on the outside who is doing the great affront or the great negativity or the great injustice, right? This does not mean you cannot be victimized. We're talking about the mind. We're talking about a consciousness that either creates peace and harmony or suffering and harm. So which side do you want to be on? So we have to learn to recognize the signs of what side we're on, because then we can, oh wait, I have to pull back and take care of myself, because ultimately what I've learned is when my mind goes to these places, it's a sign that I need to pull back and nurture myself. Because when I'm well, when I'm rested, when I'm nourished. Oh, hi, Sandy. Thanks for saying hi. Oh, hi, Lisa. I love you. So glad you're back. So glad you're well. So glad you're taking care of yourself. When I'm well rested, when I'm nourished, when I'm feeling healthy, I'm much less likely to take things personally and get engaged in drama, right? It's when I'm not well that that there are problems everywhere, right? If I have the seeds of anger in me, no matter where I go, I'm going to find something to fight, right? And that's because the world it's really a reflection of this. This is why we have to do the energy work to adjust our own frequency to come into harmony. So feeling and thinking like a victim has its own frequency. It's a low energy. It's a dense energy, and it is not an energy that's congruent with abundance and harmony and happiness, right? It's an energy that's designed to bring you down. So another red flag is I'm short-sighted and caught in a small hole of thought. So when I'm in this bad place, and these are all things I can recognize in myself, because I literally sat down and wrote the list of how I was feeling in that moment. I'm short-sighted. I'm not seeing the bigger picture. I'm almost unwilling to see. It's like I have my head in this little hole, and all I want to look at is what's in the little hole, and I want to look at all the little, and it's like the world becomes very small and very focused on this very, very, very small area of thinking and perceiving and living life. It's almost like a compulsive contraction, right? And then with that, the next red flag is I'm seeking some kind of external validation. When I am not well, I am more likely to look for some kind of external validation. When I am well, it's okay. You can let them. It's okay. They can do it. They can say it. They can whatever. Like, let them. But if I'm really unwell, it's like I can become more desperate. And that desperate energy is so gross. It's stinky. It's nasty. And that's a really good indication if we're really looking for the likes, if we're really looking for validation, if we're really looking for compliments, right? That's a good indication. Hey, babe, you need to step back and take care of yourself. So here's another one. They can feel like, so this is my experience. When it feels like there's some kind of power on the line, like someone has some kind of power over me, if only they would act differently. And this also really clicks in with the victim consciousness. We can feel like there's some kind of power on the line. If only you would do this, if only you would give me this, then I could be okay, right? Or like this person, like for some reason, what this person does has the power over me to control if I'm happy or not. Like if this person doesn't treat me in a certain way, then I'm a mess. Well, that's a really great example of like, I've completely given my power away, right? So when I'm in this kind of thinking, I'm giving my power away. I'm like energetically, I'm losing energy. It's like there's an energetic parasite in my mind that's draining me. It's feeding off of me. It's feeding off some kind of emotional turbulence within my system, which is why if I can recognize that I'm just in a state that I'm just creating all of this turbulence, and if an energetic parasite is feeding off the turbulence, then in order to kill the parasite, one of the things I have to do is kill the turbulence. I have to not react. I have to let things be. In fact, we're almost there to what's the opposite. So you're going to see what are the green flags. So the last two are the red flags is it forgets to question or observe its own thoughts. You know, it's like if you're angry and you're just angry and just angry and chain smoking cigarettes and just angry and just going over the story and overthinking and replaying what happened, right? Like that's being caught in a loop, and that's not observing, and it's not questioning, it's not challenging what we're thinking. It's just being completely sucked and taken away into a dark spinning loop of anger, which breeds depression, which breeds, lower immune system, which breeds all of the dense, like these lower density energies, right? So the ability to stop and see what you're thinking is a very, very, very important step in killing the energetic parasites that want to drain you. Sounds terribly hard. Yes, Jenna, this is the hardest work, which is why most people won't do it. And then the last thing, it's very, this suffering mind on the red flags, it's very self-focused. It's just thinking about itself and what it wants. It's not thinking about the other person. It's not really caring about the other person's experience. It just focuses on what it wants. And with that, a lot of times it uses people to get what it wants. And this goes back to the manipulation, manipulating people directly or indirectly. So these are all red flags. So if I'm feeling stressed, if I'm feeling angry, if I'm feeling like not okay, this has been my practice to be like, okay, babe, what side are you on? Which wolf are you feeding right now? Do I have a strong aversion to what's happening right now? Yeah, check. Do I really want things to be different? Check. Am I in any way trying to manipulate or coerce the situation to be different? Check. Oh, am I harboring deep resentment? Am I telling stories? Am I feeling like, oh shit. Okay. All right, everybody. Party's over. Everybody go home. We need to regroup. So here's what are the signs? What are the red, not the red flags, the green flags. So when I recognize these conditions before tell me I need to rest, I need to stop engaging, I need to pull back, I need to do some self-care, I probably need to go offline. It's probably better that I don't text anybody. It's probably better that I don't comment. It's probably better that I close the ports, close the doors, and pull back into myself so I can nourish and replenish myself. Because as long as I'm trying to get that energy and that wellness from the outside, it's always going to elude me, because happiness is an inside job. And we are the ones that get to cultivate the conditions for happiness to occur, just like we cultivate the conditions for seeds and for the grass to occur. We're watering it a lot more than we did before. That's creating the conditions for the grass to grow. So we create the conditions for suffering to occur within our minds, and we also create the conditions for happiness to occur. So the first thing to recognize is, what are the conditions that I am creating? Wait. And there's nothing I can fix on the outside to make me feel better on the inside. I have to go do the work on the inside. So here are the green flags to tell you that you're moving in a really good direction, a spiritually mature direction, a direction that's going to lead you to happiness, a direction that's going to make people feel safe to be around you, a direction that's going to just take you towards a good karma, like you could call it good karma. This is the direction of good karma. So the first signs of an awakening mind, one, is you're equanimous. So do you remember the story I told you guys about the old man and the horse and the boy and all of the things that is like seemingly good and bad things happen? And the old man is always like, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Who's to say? This great fortune arrives and he's like, and then this great misfortune happens and it's like, So that's the principle of equanimity, where you're pretty much the same no matter what happens. If someone says something mean to you, you're like, okay, let them. If somebody said something nice to you, it's like, okay, thanks. But we don't invest too much in what's happening, because we have this kind of spiritual presence in a way that just kind of knows that it's going to change, and this too shall pass, and it's all temporary. And we just know that real happiness does not depend on external conditions. And the less I react to external conditions, the more present, the more calm, and the more at peace I can be. So equanimous. Another one is the green flag for a healthy mind is it easily releases its preferences. I wanted that, but it's okay. I'm not attached, right? So there's when we suffer, it's like we're really holding on to something. It should be this way. It shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't, right? We're holding on to it, digging our nails into it and almost like hurting it. There's a tightness. And so when we are in more of a peaceful state, we can be more relaxed about life. Like, okay, yeah, that was disappointing. That was really painful. But you know what? We're learning, we're growing, we're letting go. Rather than overplaying in the mind, I can't believe that happened. I can't believe that happened. I can't believe, right? And so it's a formula I'm trying to share. It's a formula that I am learning myself to apply within myself. And I'm sharing you things that I am learning written in my own journal. So it easily releases any preferences. Another one is it's spacious. Do you remember that thing? Remember the thing I was saying about the other mind? It kind of closes in on itself, and it becomes very focused on this very small toilet paper roll of vision, right? Like and it can be very obsessive, and all day long we can think about this thing and think about this thing, right? And it's like, there's no space for play. There's no space for new idea or creativity. So the alternative that we can recognize is, wow, when I'm at peace, when I'm well, like my mind feels spacious. Wow, I have space to think about new projects or ideas, right? I can flow in different directions. I'm not in a prison of this one little thing that I can't get away from, right? So I feel like healing is spaciousness. Healing is returning or creating a new space where before there was this density, this overgrown that was just its own thing, right? So healing is, I think, a really good way to describe healing. It's a process of becoming lighter. When we're, deeply traumatized, or when we have those wounds and those pains, those unresolved things within us, there can be a heaviness. And so as we heal, as we do the work to start to see things clearly, to see our own part in things, to see how we're creating it, we started the ball rolling, we played an active role in our suffering and what happened. Once we start to see that, we become more spacious and lighter. So the next one that I would love to share is the breath is present and aware. I don't know about you, but if I'm caught in a loop thinking about something that really doesn't serve me, I am not aware of my breathing. Sometimes when I'm in a really, if I'm feeling a lot of anxiety, have you ever noticed if you're feeling really anxious, the breath can become light and shallow, and you don't even know, because we're not here. We're someplace else. We're lost in the thoughts and the loops, and we're not actually present in our body. So one of the ways that we can actually pull ourselves back from the dark side is the breath. And that's why the breath is such a powerful tool on this journey. Just remembering to breathe, slowing the breath down can actually activate our, the parasympathetic nervous system, or the rest and digest. So slowing the breath down can activate the rest and digest section of the nervous system, as opposed to fight or flight, right? No healing occurs when you're in the fight and flight portion of your nervous system. In order for the body and the mind, the heart to heal, we have to activate the rest and digest. So we can activate that by, yeah, Troy, I hear you. You wish you could escape. Well, here's the thing. You wish you could escape all the things that are happening, too many issues. You can go to the forest and you can breathe. And that's probably your greatest tool. You can go to the forest. You can turn off your phone. You can close the ports, close the windows, come back to yourself and go breathe with the trees. But like all of these things that I'm talking about, it requires us to notice what's happening and then make a choice to do something about it. So one of the best ways to bring ourselves back is to remember to breathe. A dear friend of mine shared a really scary incident where there was an instance of violence at a school where all the parents were being called in, and it was very scary and everyone was scared, and that she became a source of peace and calm and stability for others by herself remembering to breathe and then reminding others just to breathe, just to come back, right? So when I'm in that bad place, I'm not breathing and I'm not aware that I'm not breathing. So one of the first things I can do is become aware of my breath and come back. So, another thing is a healthy mind holds space for what it doesn't know. So, you know what? Hey, there could be something I don't know about the situation. So before I react out of anger, I'm actually going to check with the person. Hey, is there something going on that I should know about? Because I feel this distance between you and I'm really confused right now. Versus pretending it's not there or make up a story that's not true, right? So a healthy mind can hold space for what it doesn't know. And another really great thing is a healthy mind challenges itself. A healthy mind is willing to stop and say, wait, what side am I on right now? And that can actually be one of the steps towards coming back to a healthy mind, is to ask just to stop trying to fight and fix things on the outside, sit your ass down, close your eyes, breathe, and ask, am I pushing against reality? Do I have a strong aversion or craving right now? Am I trying to manipulate people to do what I want? Am I telling stories? Am I operating with, right? So a healthy mind, or a step towards a healthy mind, is questioning itself, not just believing what it thinks. And this is the danger of an unhealthy mind, is it's a subtle and powerful foe. It wants to take you into a darkness, into a dark place. And it can be very like a honey-tipped arrow. A honey-tipped arrow can be very seductive because there is a point that feels sweet, but the rest is damage. It's like saying something unkind to someone out of anger. Jesus said, do not sin in anger. Because when we say things in anger, it may feel good in that moment, like that honey-tipped arrow, but the rest of it causes harm and damage. So it's really important that we learn to not sin in anger. It's really important that we learn to recognize, I am in a state of anger. I should not speak, because if I speak, it may be a sin. So this is the importance of learning to recognize, because then we can know and operate in the world with more discernment and wisdom. When is it right to speak? And when is it right to be quiet? When is it helpful to speak? And when is it harmful to speak? And so really the most important thing of an awakened mind that's not going to cause harm. It's this wisdom. It's this wisdom aspect of knowing if I launch that honey-tipped arrow, it may feel good for a moment, but it's not going to feel good later. Think before you speak. Beck, I don't think I agree with that. Well, no, I think I do, and I don't. Because I can think of a lot of shitty things to say. I can think of a lot of reasons why I'm justified to say those things. I can think, and I can think, and I can overthink all the things that person did, and all the things I want to say to that person. I can think. So I think rather than think before you speak, it's probably really sit with it and get right with myself before I speak. And make sure that the thoughts that I'm thinking are oriented towards this other side, not the first side. Because if I'm thinking a bunch of these thoughts, the dark thoughts, the red flag thoughts, and then I speak, you better believe, oh yeah, I thought a lot, but I didn't, what I spoke created harm. And so this is the most important thing. We don't want to harm anyone, period. So we have to make sure that we're conducting ourselves with mastery so that we don't inadvertently harm someone because we aren't well. And that's what this whole video is about. To understand that the more well we make ourselves, the less likely we are to harm somebody inadvertently. And the more likely we are to help, to serve, and to heal ourselves and others. Okay, so another green flag of this mind that we're working towards is it looks around and it sees the bigger picture. So it can see, okay, there's something I don't understand here. Okay, God has a bigger plan for me. There's something I don't understand. It's okay. I don't need to understand everything, but I can trust in God's plan. I can trust in the bigger picture, even though I don't understand why this person had to die. I don't understand why this person had to leave. I don't understand why this accident had to happen. I don't like it. I don't understand it. I don't like it. I don't want it this way. But maybe there's something bigger here happening, and I just need to surrender and trust that more will be revealed. Right? So the unhealthy dark mind, it's caught in that little paper towel tube, little toilet roll tube of sight. It can only see this. But the awakening healthy mind is like, okay, there's more going on that can be understood with my philosophies. And that's okay. God, show me the way. Right? So there's more of a surrender, a willingness to surrender, because we're holding even the things we can't see or understand. Whoa, this is like high level stuff, man. Next thing is it does not jump to react. Oh, hey, Kendall. Hey, babe. Right? So when we're in that dark red flag mind, we're reactive. Oh, I can't believe that. I'm going to say the thing because I'm angry, right? It's very reactive, right? So it's very important that we learn to recognize, oh, okay, I'm in the danger zone. Let me not speak. It's like walking around with a disability, but being aware. Okay, I'm aware I am disabled by anger right now. I am disabled by really intense feelings. I am operating at a disability on this golf course. What is it? A disadvantage? I don't know. What's the terminology you people have? I'm operating. It's knowing I'm operating at a disability. So I want to be very, very careful. I want to be very, very careful about where I place my feet, my hands, and my words. Handicap. Thank you. Handicap. And so knowing I'm handicapped, I'm operating with a handicap, I must be very, very careful not to react, because if I react when I'm hungry, angry, lonely, tired, that's halt. I'm much more likely to do the wrong thing, and the wrong thing being something that harms someone else. Right? So we need to check ourselves before we wreck ourselves, Kelly. We need to dial ourselves back. And the first step is seeing what that is going on. Okay? What's going on right now? Just stop. Just sit down. Don't move. Sit down and assess what's happening in my mind right now. And is this a good mind? Is this a bad mind? Is this the dark wolf? Is this the white wolf? Right? Is this going to take me towards happiness and joy, or is this going to lead me to more suffering? So, the next point, the healthy mind is willing to sit and feel, observe, and hold space for itself. The other night, I got back and I was angry. I was feeling victimized. This was the day that I wrote this list. I was feeling angry. I was feeling victimized. I wasn't feeling well. I was feeling very tired. I was just feeling all of this stuff, and I wanted to tell this person off and this person, get this person to do this thing to fix everything. And instead of doing that, I recognized, whoa, I sat my butt down on one of those new blue chairs outside in the yard, and I stared up at the moon, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm not going to do anything, and I'm not going to say anything to anyone until I just sit with my feelings and just feel my gosh darn feelings. And that was very important, because that's where this whole thing came out of, because that was what I needed to see at that moment in order to understand something important for myself. It was that willingness to sit and feel, observe, and hold space for myself. I'm always holding space for others. Hey, how you doing? What's going on? How do you feel? How's that working out for you? So I did that for myself. Hey, how are you doing? How do you feel? Yeah, okay, babe. I see that you're angry. I see that you're tired. Yeah. Oh, you're hungry. Oh, this is exactly what we talked about. This is exactly what we talked about in the program. HALT, hungry, angry, lonely, tired. Oh, okay. I see that I'm at that place. Okay. I know next thing I do is stop. And then from there, I pulled back, I shut off. And this is where I just got to shut everything off. I don't want to go online. I'm not going to make videos. I'm just going to come back to myself. I went and I ran a bath. I took a 2-hour bath. It was amazing. And I really nourished myself. And in that time, since I was feeling that way, I've really made a priority to rest, to do the things that help me come back to myself, help me reclaim my energy. And that's the practice. And then the last one is, when we are in a good state of mind, one of those green flags is that we are concerned for the well-being of others. We are concerned about others. We are caring and thinking about others, not from a selfish place of trying to take care of others so they need me and want me, right? Because that's a way of caring for others that's actually self-focused. Right? We have a sincere care for others when we are well. When we are drained, when we're tired, when we're not well, it can be harder to genuinely care for others. And that's because the body is waving all of these red flags and trying to signal you to get your attention to care for yourself. Because when you are naturally well, when you are rested, when you are nourished, you naturally care for others. You naturally are concerned for others from a genuine, generous place. And that is what this is all about. The whole purpose of this conversation, the whole point of getting well, is so that we can benefit others with true generosity, from a place of love and light and doing what's right, not trying to compensate or find consolation or coercion. So those are just some thoughts. So that's what I've been doing this week. I've been resting and taking care of myself after putting so much energy and effort into holding space and caring for others. We have to do both. And in fact, there's a flow and a rhythm and a cycle. If we're always focused on caring for others, there is something called caretaker burnout, where you burn out because you don't have enough. You gave it all away. So it's very important, if you want to take really good care of others, if you want to take really, really good care of your children, of your loved ones, of your partner, your spouse, your business, take good care of yourself. Make sure, oh, Miss Betty, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry you're in pain. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. So take care of yourself. And that might be turning off your phone and pulling back from the internet. That might be saying no to the caterpillar party. Don't go to the caterpillar party if you're feeling like it's time to cocoon. That might be telling someone as much as you'd like to help them right now, you actually can't. And can they come back next week? I'd love to do that with you. Can we circle up next week? Yes, I'd love to put something on the schedule. How about 2 weeks from now? So this is the work. This is the work. And the better we get, the happier we get, the more loving we get, the more beautiful life gets, the more we have to celebrate and appreciate, and the more light and love we get to share with others. But you can't share what you don't have. So let's focus on cultivating what it is that we want to give to others. Okay, first, give it to yourself. Give it to the people around you. And then spread out from there. All right, guys, I love you so much. Thanks for tuning in and watching. I appreciate you being here on this channel. I appreciate all your love, all your support. And I want to give a special shout out and thanks to the High Vibe Tribe members. I love you guys so much, and I really appreciate our sweet little safe inner circle. You know what I have shared, so I will leave it there. And I love you all so much. So yeah, go get a massage, May. Go get a massage. Go take a walk. Go let the dishes be dirty and go take a walk outside. Go nourish yourself. Go talk to God. I love talking to God best with my words and my feet. Like I'm moving my feet, I'm walking and I'm talking. So, oh, Erica, good. Babe, Erica, you know what you need to do. Pull back, close the portholes. You know, a vacation doesn't have to be on the other side of the world. A vacation can be finding an Airbnb an hour away from where you live. But it's creating that bubble for yourself. How can you create a bubble for yourself where you are that nourishes you? Up to you. Up to you. Can I show your painting?
Yeah, sure.
So Mr. Salzeet is back here working on his painting. There's been some important, I can't.
Developments.
This is a reminder. There are no problems here, only solutions.
Only solutions.
This is a reminder. There are no problems here, only solutions.
Okay, so let's see what's happening over here. So, would you, sir, artist, would you like to comment on your painting?
Yeah.
She's looking great.
I don't know. I'm just working on that little bendy dot for fun, trying to place where
It's really coming
her
along.
forehead. But yeah, I don't know. Did you know no one's face is actually even on the
No
left
one's
side or right
face
side?
is even.
So no one is perfect.
Look, my face isn't even, and I can show you. This is what happens.
Oh, there's a little photo thing for that.
I know. Wait. Where is it? Go down here. You go down here.
Okay, can I get some face? Hello.
Oh, hi. Yeah. You can Yeah. Come on in. Where's the...
I'll just stay out here. I'm just the guy on the side. Over here.
You're just the secret. Oh, the secret to my power? No. But, okay.
She looks like a mime still.
Well, you're doing the thing where, so it turns out a big thing I'm learning about painting and life is it doesn't start out looking pretty in the way you want it. No, you have to go through stages where it doesn't look good. And how, as a painter, can you stand it? Like, I feel so frustrated. It's like, it doesn't look the way I want it. I don't want to do it. And you just keep going.
Yeah, you just keep going. If something really bugs you, erase it.
Oh.
She looks a little cross-eyed, actually.
Ever so slightly.
Cross-eyed.
Ever so small. Ever so small.
Achoo!
Oh, no.
Oh,
Oh, no.
What do you mean? She's the blessing.
Oh, yeah, bless you. Okay, guys. Diana says, the depth is incredible. It's, there's something pretty wild going on here. Something pretty crazy, pretty wild.
I haven't chosen the lighting
What are the
yet.
lizards doing?
Nothing's been shaded yet, so it still kind of looks a little clunky, but it will get there.
Yeah. It's like us in life. We'll get there. It's just,
Yeah,
we're just...
patience.
It's just like there are some messy bits. It's
No,
not
always
looking
look
the way that we
the
want it
best.
to. It's okay. Okay.
So many blessings.
So many blessings. Okay, guys.
Thanks
Thanks
for
for
watching.
watching. Thanks for whoa. Everyone tune into the birds outside, April. Yes, I love the birds outside. The birds outside are one of the best parts of living here. You know, I love that I'm surrounded by mountains and birds and trees. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Chickens, roosters. Oh my goodness. Troy, I always meet with God in the woods. Yep. That's where we go. Just haven't been able to get to the woods regularly, hoping that changes soon. Okay, so here's a great thing. It's like, okay, Troy and others, how can you schedule an appointment with yourself to go do the things that make you feel good? I'm very grateful that I scheduled in 6 days of rest after my retreat. Today's day 5. And I didn't take any other bookings. I didn't make any other appointments. Someone asked me to go do something. I said, that sounds great. How about next week? So I scheduled in that time for myself. This is something I've had to learn how to do. So where can you schedule in something for yourself? A massage, a walk. You can tell everyone you're going to the dentist. I don't mean to lie, but if you need to, like, you could go to the dentist and have that time for yourself, right? And nobody would fight you or question it, right? So just, right, like, where can you make an appointment and then tell other people you have an appointment? Whether or not you tell them exactly what it's for, it could be like an ambiguous dentist appointment, you know? So yeah. Dio, you love my dress? Oh yeah, isn't this nice? I got, oh my, sorry, I got my pieces. I'm a little Healy. I got this blue dress.
I love that dress.
Isn't this great? Yeah, I got this, Jenna gifted me this dress. And then when I was at the retreat, you know, I find that each one of the retreats gives me something really special. This wrap I got on our shopping day in Santiago. So, yeah. Here, Nahi making music. Oh, I'm going to end with a song. Ooh, sounds good. Okay, here we go. Please prepare me to be a sanctuary, no worry, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving, I'll be living sanctuary for you. Please prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure
Yay!
How do we finish that song?
I don't know. Like that?
Hare Krishna, oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, oh Hare Rama, Rama Rama, please prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. I'm doing my best to be a living sanctuary for you.
Yay!
Okay, guys, I love you so much. See you soon. Oh,
Love you all. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.